What is up, everybody? It is Thursday evening, and if you're watching this, you're probably already aware that something special probably came across my desk. Normally we do live streams, but once in a while, something fun lands, and I decide we need to do something recorded and get it up on the channel because it needs its own video. So today we have an unboxing, and we're also going to get it built and set up. I know a lot of times we'll do the unboxing, we'll do the show and tell, we'll take a look at the device, and then I'll invite you to come join me on Mondays on Wicking It and Kicking It. Wicking It and Kicking It, Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern. And that's when we'll build it together. Because it's generally not the same building things without chat, being here live, ask questions, people being able to, give opinions, comments, help me make decisions, like on what coil to use. I'm not going to have that today, but don't fret, we will be playing with this again come Monday. This is just first impressions, and I really did not want to wait. Like I said, it's Thursday evening, it's 5:45. We got the vlog tonight if you like to follow Grim Green, and I thought I would squeeze this in so I could get this uploaded if there's time tonight, but likely I'll schedule it to publish Friday morning. I think that makes the most sense, but if there's time, I might get it up. But enough rambling. But let's slow it down for a second. You know how we usually start things off. What I like to do is start with a sip of coffee and a vape.
That needs a squonk. I over squonked.
Yeah, that's the you run into these problems when you insist on doing everything one take without editing.
There we go. A little bit better.
Broken Addy on the BMM Billy Club V1, all decked out with those sexy Bennett Tool Customs accessories. Crackle leaves a little something to be desired. I need to re-wick some things. If you were with me this past Monday a couple days ago, you'll see that we set up this Nightmare Mini V2 RDA. I ended up setting that up with a set of Duchess coils Umamis. They're his SFC build. They're like a dual core 28 because I wanted to set it up for regulated. We always do mech squonks, and I wanted to set it up for my pulse, so it's a little bit higher resistance, a little lower mass, so we can get better battery life on a single 21700. And that's this is loaded up with our very own JMW Premium Watermelonade.
Just nice and smooth and flavorful. SFCs don't crackle unless you really, really try to force them to.
Oh, and in this one, we've got our succulents, which has been growing quite the name for itself. Shout out to Grim Green for that one, and all the people that have been enjoying it for the past few years, that have given it its name. Pendulum Coil's Cherry Bomb on the inside, but like I said, it needs to be re-wicked.
We also wicked up the Vena.
Put that on the DMD Mods Mason M, all black and yellow. So we could try out Lady Liberty's guava cream cheese pastry. Absolutely delicious profile. There's a Pendulum Coils NI90 Firecracker in this one. Crackling a little bit better.
Still think it needs to be rewicked.
Oh, now that we're warmed up with a little coffee and some clouds, what are we here for today? Guys, it's a special one. It's not very often where a new RDA lands in the squonk market. There's very few people out there keeping squonking alive. People like Alex Lubinsky, Dean from DMD Mods. Of course, you've got Box Mod Mafia doing a couple squonks, and you'll see, you know, various modders pop up with their Facebook groups or what have you. But they're few and far between, is like how it used to be in like from like say like 2017 to 2019. I want to say was the peak of the squonk era. But we've got a brand new company. No, he's been around. It's a small group on Facebook. He's done a couple very limited runs of a couple of mech squonkers. He's been playing around. I know he's like 3D printed himself like a couple regulated squonkers, but he wanted to do an RDA. He looked around at a couple different manufacturers to be able to machine the RDA for him. He finally was able to find one. This RDA went through a couple 2-3 different phases before landing on the final design. And I was really interested in this one. It's his first RDA, Ian Metcalf from Trendkill Mods. And I believe it's Trendkill Mods. It might just be Trendkill, but I think it's Trendkill Mods. If I'm mistaken, please let me know. And he has released the first batch of the Gematria RDA. What is the name now? I'm not 100% sure, but I think it's a really cool rad name. It pulls some design inspiration from a couple classics like the Vena, the Hussar V2. In my opinion, the Flav Evo 22. And I'll explain why once we get into it. I'm excited. I've got it right here. I've already taken the outside packaging off as to not dox anybody. We got this box inside. Let's rip it open and let's take a look. This is going to be nice and simple. We're just going to be able to rip this off. Hopefully. And just pull the package right out. There we go. There she is. Number 37. Not mad at that at all. Listen, a number is just a number. Here we are. The packaging. This is a gorgeous tin. He wanted to do something special for packaging, and let me tell you what, that is something special right there. He reached out to the Coke King himself and had these tins done up. And that's the Trendkill logo. Absolutely gorgeous. Let's open her up and get to the product. Oh, yeah, look, little packing peanuts. I like that. I like that he did that so the RDA doesn't bounce around. Let's get these little guys out of here. Throw those there, and here we have it, the Gematria RDA. We might need to zoom in a little bit. Man, I am not on my game today, guys. I want to do this RDA justice because, man, I am really excited for this one. Like I said, this is special. You don't have a brand new modder releasing a brand new RDA every day in this community anymore like you used to. Let's get it out of the plastic, actually. And we'll take an up-close look at it. Come on. Oh, awesome. Squonk pin already pre-installed. Looks like it only comes with the squonk pin. Makes sense to me. There we go. Just comes with a Delrin top cap. Dual 2mm airflow holes. This is the style of drip tip that I like that comes stock. When you got that little edge right there, it's very similar to the stock drip tip that comes with the Broken Addy. A little taller, if I'm not mistaken. Very simple, clean design, Delrin top cap. I take a liking to a lot of RDAs that have dual airflow holes like that. Dual 2mm is actually a pretty perfect restricted direct lung for an RDA, in my opinion. It's actually the reason why I mentioned the Flav Evo 22 is because that also has dual 2mm airflow holes, if I'm not mistaken. I'm pretty sure they're 2mm. But the difference is, and you'll see here, these ones are actually centered on the deck. Let's zoom in and take a closer look. Oh, we are zoomed in. I'm sorry. Let's get this on the trusty old paranormal and take the top cap off. There we go. They're actually centered, so they'll be centered on their coil. That Flav Evo, they were kind of like offset a little bit, like kind of off to one side here, off to one side, you know, off to one side here, off to one side there. These will be centered on your coil. Let's see, can we, and let's actually take it back off and let's take a closer look around the deck. Just get a nice up close look at it. If I can get the focus to work for me. There we go. Nice machining. You can see the design cues, like I had mentioned, the Vena, like the post orientation. Takes that design cue from the Vena. The Hussar V2 also has a similar centered to airflow hole design, except that deck sits much lower. This one gives you a much deeper juice well once everything is going to be built and wicked here. That Hussar is definitely much lower profile deck, but I believe he said that he had definitely taken inspiration because those are some of his favorite RDAs from the past. And yeah, there's just certain things that we know about RDA design at this point where there's just a formula that works to get nice restricted direct lung airflow and top-notch flavor, and this just follows that to a T. Really excited to get this built and wicked. I'm gonna get this on the trusty old paranormal. Let's make sure that I'm sure he checked this. Now, he did not serialize the decks. He only serialized the tins. I think that's a smart idea. Not having to worry about matching an RDA up with the number of the package. So this is what most people will refer to as counterclockwise orientation for counterclockwise wrapped coils. If you're familiar with the Broken Addy, it's opposite post orientation from the Broken Addy. But if you're familiar with the Vena, it's the same post orientation as the Vena. So ideally, you want a counterclockwise wrapped coil. Before this landed, I really wanted to hit up Jared from Pendulum Coils. I like to keep a nice stock of Pendulum Coils cherry bombs on me. They're one of my favorite coils to use in an RDA like this. But he wraps clockwise typically. And I normally, I'll get like a set or two and keep a set of counterclockwise ones on hand. Or like NI90 firecrackers. I like to get those counterclockwise to use in my Venas. I don't have any left. I used my last counterclockwise coils for the basic 1.1 video and my last firecracker for the Vena. But this is, so what you would have to do if you only have counter or regular clockwise wrap coils is you would have to flip them belly down. Flip them belly down. I don't know. There's just something about that. But like, yes, I could do that, and I've done that plenty over the years. But we're gonna show love to some other builders that do naturally wrap counterclockwise. My man Duchess coils, I've got some of those in here. I've got one of his triple 28s 2.5 millimeter builds. Now he wraps naturally counterclockwise. He says it's clockwise. So there's been a little confusion there, and I understand why. He says when you look at the coil sideways. This is a 2.5 millimeter. I usually like to use 2.5 millimeter coils for this type of RDA. But as you can see, there's plenty of room for a 3 millimeter. I've got one of his standard triple 26 gauge. You can see 3 millimeter fits in there just fine. It's going to be nice and snug. I'm going to pop the airflow on here real quick and see how the airflow feels before I decide. Also, my buddy Mao makes me some of these screamers. These are some of his 3 millimeter. He made me 2 that are wrapped clockwise and 2 that are wrapped counterclockwise. So I don't know. Let's see how the airflow feels, and I might decide whether I want to do 2.5 or if I want to do 3. Let's see. I have a feeling I'm going to want to do 2.5. Oh, that's a lot more open than I thought. Now, obviously, a coil installed. Is going to make that feel a little more restricted. See, Mao makes me these screamers, like I said. This is why it usually benefits me to have the chat. Normally, I would ask the chat for help on deciding which coil I want to use. This is a 3 millimeter screamer. And I might use a counterclockwise one. Take a half a wrap off of one and use a counterclockwise screamer. Or I would use the wiki wheel. We have what I've dubbed the wiki wheel, the wicking it and kicking it wheel, to spin it and decide. However, I can't screen share the wiki wheel without having to edit in a completely separate video file, and I don't really know how to do that. Let's get closer up on this and see. I know this isn't the most professional of ways to go about this. This is why most YouTubers edit. There we go. Most YouTubers edit. You know what? Let's go with the 2.5mm Duchess coil, just because I have more of them than any other coil. And we'll save our Mao coil. Maybe we'll install one of the Mao coils on Monday, and we'll see how it does with a 2.5mm today, and we'll see how it does with a 3mm on Monday. So we'll set that aside. I'm gonna break up this set because I do have more of these than many of my other builds. I have more triple 28 2.5mm Duchess coils and more pendulum coils cherry bombs probably than any other build in my arsenal. What we do have to do though is we have to take this guy and we're going to have to take a half wrap off. Let's see. Take a half, about a quarter off that side and a quarter off that side. Let me get this. Will just get a nice good tug on this to make sure it's nice and even. There we go. That way we'll be able to get that installed just like that. I'm going to bend that one out a little touch. I think I should be able to use the reload tool. Yes. It's a 1.5, H1.5 grub screw. As you can see, one side is open and the other side is closed. You'll slide one lead through the closed side and then slot your other lead in through the open side. So let's see. I might need to pre-cut these a little bit. Take a little bit off. This is going to be a much longer video than it needs to be, but hey, we're just here relaxing. Basically doing what I would normally do when I get an RDA without a camera on, just with a camera on. Let's see. And I wanted to get this done because there aren't going to be too many people with these making videos for it. Come on, get in there. One other person that I know does make great YouTube videos. I'm sure many of you are well aware of him. Come on. The Gentleman's Crackle channel. Tyler. Tyler will be, should have, I believe, gotten his Gematria RDA already. This needs to be opened up a little bit more. And he, I'm sure, will have his video coming out shortly. There we go. Come on. I can't get it in there. Why won't that go in? Normally this isn't that difficult. It's getting, there we go. It's getting stuck. There we go. All right, we're in. He has much better equipment than I do. Cameras and microphones and such as. So keep an eye out. He's able to get some better up close shots and angles and stuff. I'm just kind of winging it here. We're just going to get that clamped down. What I think I want to do is I want to pull on this lead. Let's see if I can just pull on it. There we go. To get it nice and tight. There we go. Straighten it out. Keep it nice and tight. I might pull on this side too. Now that that's in there. I kind of want to get this. There we go. I want to get this as straight as I can. There we go. While keeping tension on the coil. Tension on the coil is important, especially if you like crackle. We don't worry too much about. I do enjoy some crackle, but I don't worry about it a ton. There we go. Make sure that that's nice and centered. Needs to be pushed over just a touch. There we go. Now that looks like it's raised a tad, but I think normally on something like this, I want to pull that coil up just a little bit so we can get some of that airflow coming in and hitting the bottom half of our coil a little bit. Come on. There you go. See right there? Hitting that bottom corner of our coil a little bit there. And then we just make sure that our leads are completely tight. Now that I tightened it down more, it pulled my coil over to that side a bit, so we'll straighten it back out. All right, I think we're good. This is where my OCD kicks in a little bit here, because I want it to be evenly spaced. Can we push it this way a little bit more? These will help too. Just kind of get that in there and move it to where you want it sometimes. All right, we're in. We're raised a little bit. Let's clip our leads. Should be able to lift this up. Get in nice and close and snip, dick him out. Oh. Get the other side here. It's already lifted. Might need to bend that down a little bit. I'm going to come in from the top here. Come in from the top. Dicky Moat. Beautiful. I'm going to come in from the top on this one too, just to make sure nothing's poking out on this side. I don't want to be scratching the inside of my top cap. There we go. My message is going off real quick here. Let me check it. Now, let's finish this real quick here. Let's get some heat to it. Sorry guys, I'm real distracted. Bed single, yes. We're going to start, no. Low wattage, get some heat to this guy. Kind of want to give it a little tug on that. There we go. Turn the heat up a little bit. We're going up to about 17 watts there. There we go. Little stubborn little hot spot in the center there. Sometimes you just tug your wraps apart. Then we'll pinch them back together. Beautiful. We're going to go up to 20 watts. There we go. Let's reread it. Come on. A little higher than I expected it to be. 0.27. However, oh, no, that's about pretty on par to where like the cherry bombs come in at. 0.27 for me. So this Duchess coil is yeah, 0.268. Pretty much the exact same resistance. The specs are just a little bit different. There we go. Let's get her wicked up. I have not decided yet what RDA I want to, or what mod I want to put this on. I got 2.5 millimeter FDH cotton, FDH wicks. Makes it nice and simple. I think I kind of wanted to see what this looked like on a couple mods, but I have an idea of one that I think I might end up with it on. Now, if you're really, really worried about your crackle, you can pull this apart, roll it back up, do it that way. I'm just going to pull a little bit off just to thin it out a bit. It says that it's 2.5 millimeter, but it's a little bit thick sometimes. So I just pull a little bit off. For the video's sake, we're just going to do it that way. If you really, really want to be particular, you can pull it apart, roll it back up, That's the crackle method, I guess. This works just fine for what we need right here. And we very well could still get a decent amount of crackle anyway. I really just want to get this built, give it a try. Let's see. That should do it right there. All right. And we're going to give this a little comb. But mostly I just want to fluff it up. There's a lot of space in this well here. So I kind of want to get these ends fluffed up. All right. And then just the old up and in, tuck them. Tuck them. Very, very easy building wick. A lot easier than I made it look because I was messing around being all OCD with the coil, but there we go. What liquid do I want to put on this sucker, huh? I never really asked myself that question. Hold please. Let's see. Let's think about it for a sec. You know what I think I might do? Because it's just that time of year. We're getting close up on Thanksgiving time. And I have an idea of what mod I think I want to run this on. We're gonna go with the JMW Premium Apple Cream Cake. It's an all-day vape of mine. At least this time of year. Goes great with our coffee. Let's give that a go on here. I was debating between running this on either my Molly V3 or my Galaxy, my anodized Galaxy plug. I haven't used the Molly in a long time. It's actually just been sitting on the shelf with the old GKI Aora RDA sitting on top of it. And I think the Molly could use a little love. My fire bar is a little cracked, but I think it could use a little love and a new RDA friend to sit on top of it. Not a terrible amount of crackle from that Duchess coil. There we go. Let's poke around at this real quick and just kind of clean it up. Just make sure no flyaways. Oh yeah, that's doing pretty freaking awesome right there. All right, let's get our cap on. Oh, let's loosen it up. Then we'll put our cap on. There we go. We're gonna spin that guy off of there. And I think we're gonna add a beauty ring. Because why not? I don't have a matchy drip tip out yet. I do, but I don't think it's going to sit right in here. But let's go with the beauty ring. I think this is my Concio Mods beauty ring. It's real nice and minimal. Bottom feeders edition Molly V3. These are special panels that were made by Lucky 13. Let's spin this guy. Let's throw it on there. Get it nice and snugged up. Hopefully the beauty ring doesn't cause... Some RDAs, the beauty ring will cause it to not make connection. But I think we're going to be okay on this one. If it does, we'll just take the beauty ring off. Let's bring the camera out a little bit more so you can see more of what we're doing here. Let's get our Squonk bottle filled up. I could have tried the RDA without doing the whole rigmarole, but we might as well go all the way. Get it all set up to how we want to enjoy it. Fill our Squonk bottle. It's taking a minute. That'll do. That'll do for now. That's plenty. Plenty to get us started. I need to cut a new straw, I think. This one's bent to all heck. Let's see. Let's make sure we're not... That'll work. We'll get this guy in here. Boop. Grab a battery. I think I want a plain black battery. Oh, no, see, she's not making connection. It's that beauty ring. Well, all right then. We'll just do it without the beauty ring. Huh. I'm surprised. That's the one of the thinnest beauty rings I have. Let's see. No, it's not the beauty ring. How are we not making connection here? What's wrong? What is wrong? That's odd. Huh. I don't understand. It doesn't make any sense. Was that battery bent, maybe? Let's try a different battery. There's no reason why that should not be making connection. Well, I guess the Galaxy plug it is, because we only got so much time. Galaxy plug. We'll just have to take our bottle out and just use this bottle for now. Whatever works. Let's spin that. Should be able to use our beauty ring for this one, at least. All right. Come on. I swear I know what I'm doing. This wasn't what I had planned. Normally don't like to run circle bottles in the plug because of my OCD, but hey, this, we're working, we're rocking and rolling. It works. All right, we're up and running. Let's give her a try. I don't know what's going on with my freaking with my Molly, but we'll have to figure it out later because I guess it's not as important at the moment. So yeah, Gematria RDA on the Galaxy plug. There we go. Let's go. Ooh. Let's go. Right off the bat, flavor is fantastic. Should we have rinsed our deck out before we used it? Yes, we 100% should have. But when you're doing an unboxing, I guess what I should have done was I should have unboxed it, paused the video, went and rinsed it out and came back. But yeah, doesn't seem to taste like any machine oil or anything like that. But you should always wash out new gear when you get it. You know, I'm getting some sweeter notes actually from the apple cream cake that I don't always get from some other atomizers. The apple cream cake is like a caramel apple cake with like a little bit of a like cinnamon coffee cake type of layer. The airflow is super smooth. It's a little bit more open than I had expected, which is actually extremely welcome. I have plenty of more restricted RDAs. Something a little more open is very welcome. I would still firmly put it in that restricted direct lung category, but a more open restricted direct lung. This is the DL cap on the baddie, so it's just a touch, just a hair, a little more air than Avena. Super smooth. Absolutely beautiful. This is everything that I hoped it would be. Maybe we can go for a little match action. Although I do love that drip tip. There. Oh yeah. Just a little matchy. A little bit of dark purple to match that deep purple on the inside there. Typically, to go full matchy, I would have used the purple bottle. But let's see, this, I think this bore is a little bit more open. I love these drip tips. That is the perfect bore. It's probably a 5mm bore. This one's probably more of like a 6.5 to a 7. Let's see if that changes anything.
Not really. Not really. We just got a little bit of matchy.
But I do love, I do really enjoy this stock drip tip. It's nice and comfortable. It's the perfect bore. It's a good height. It's not too short. I don't like super short drip tips. Yeah, very comfortable. He did a great job picking out the right drip tip for this. It's a nice height. It proportionately looks perfect on the mum's plug. It would have been great on that Molly. The finish of the Delrin, because it's new, is a little bit more matte, and it would have matched that kind of matte satin finish. I don't know. I'll have to figure out what's going on with that. But we're already pushing 52 minutes. I typically didn't expect this video to last an hour, but what are you going to do? We're enjoying our first time with a new RDA. Fantastic crackle from the Duchess coil. A little inside joke for those of you who know. That say the Duchess coils don't crackle. They certainly do. Yeah. Just a beautiful, beautiful RDA. Fantastic. Exactly everything I had hoped for. I really, really was excited for this one. And you did not disappoint. Very, very well done on the Gematria RDA. This is going to go into my stable, into my rotation of RDAs. I'm sure it's going to find its way into my favorites. It's going to get used and loved. I believe this is just the first batch. I don't want to misspeak, but I believe I heard him saying that there's going to be one more batch, and then that's going to be it. So if you're an avid squonker, if this is your thing and you missed out on the first batch of the Gematria RDA, I would say do a little searchy search for Trendkill on Facebook, and just keep an eye out for what information pops up, because things like this don't come along very often, and if they're limited, and once they're gone, and then you're subject to searching for them on the secondhand market if you miss out. This is definitely one to scoop up. If you're a squonker, if you like these little 22 millimeter flavor bangy type of RDAs, man, this is right up there with the greats. I would compare it. I would put it in that category with the Vena, with the Broken Addy, with the basic 1.1. Some of my favorites. This is going to be well loved, and it's going to stay in rotation. Thank you, Ian Trendkill, for all your hard work and your dedication to the community, for making a fantastic RDA. And that's going to do it. We have gone long enough. Cheers. Be sure, if you're new here, like and subscribe, all that fun stuff. Come join us Mondays, 7 p.m. Eastern, for Wicking It and Kicking It. We do a little DIY sometimes, but it's mostly just a chill hangout session. People share their hand checks, their desk checks. We share those. We do some re-wicks. Sometimes that's all we need to do. We do builds. Once in a while, I'll get something new. And we'll normally do like a first build, depending on the item on the stream there together. It's just a great time. Everybody's super welcoming. Chat is always popping. And we'd love we'd love to have you come join us. That's gonna do it. I will see you guys around, and yeah, if I can remember exactly what I'm supposed to do to finish a video, we'll get out of here. Yeah. All right. Let's give it one more squonk. Oh, and we'll end on some clouds, shall we? Gematria RDA, absolute winner. Until the next time, guys, keep it cloudy.